Good morning everybody, and welcome to the Lakedistrict here. It's been a few months. I think I was here last time in about April time when I photographed the lone tree here last time, and once again it's been absolutely hammering it with rain on the way down here, but fortunately I haven't been caught in it, so yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some nice images. It's just going to be a nice steady easygoing morning. It's 5:30 in the morning. I left home at 1:30, just above Hornsey, and it hasn't done too bad. It's taken me just over 4 hours to get here. So let's get it cracked on, let's get the camera up and running, and let's get some pictures taken. Just a couple of little tips when you're doing tripods. If you're in the area of wet things, seaside and all that type of stuff, and things are going to get damp and all that, always do your bottom legs first, so that's going to cop it first, so your joints don't get wet that much really. So what I have done as well, I've taken off my rubber feet and I've put on some spikes, which makes it much more secure and it doesn't move nowhere then. So there you go. So time to put the camera on. So as I said, I was going to put this on the tripod, so I've just basically got a nice little adapter carabiner there, and that's my filters ready. Okay, let's put the filter holder on there. I've actually got the polarizer in there at the moment, so the polarizer sits on the back of the filter, as you can see there. There's the polarizer, and then that sits on the back, and then the ND filters sit on the front. So let's just drop this in, which is all nice and magnetic. So I'm going to turn it around there so I can actually turn the CPL filter when I need to turn it. So that's looking pretty good. And then what I'm going to probably do is for the first picture, I'm not going to bother doing a 10 stop or anything like that, and the water at the moment's a little bit shiny and all that, and I'm going to turn you around and let you have a look at the tree in a second, and then you'll see exactly why. But for the first shot, I'm actually just going to put a grad on still. I'm going to just bring the sky in a little bit at the top because it's a bit bright, so I'm going to bring this in there. I've got a 1.6 graduated filter on there, and that sits on the top of there, and then I'm just going to line that up, and then I'm going to focus up on my subject, get myself all lined up there. Okay, so I'm just going to set the camera up now. So basically the camera is overexposed and everything at the moment, so what I'm going to do is ISO has obviously been set up for doing a night shoot, so I'm going to bring the ISO down to 64, which is what I like to set off at. My f-stop is going to be f11, which is a perfect x-stop for the lens, nice sweet spot on it, and I'm just going to move the exposure up and down until I get the correct exposure. So I'm looking at the histogram, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, and there. And I think that is not a million miles off there. I'm going to do my horizontals now, so I'm going to turn this one this way, so until the green line comes in. That's spot on, and all I've got to do now is just focus on it and then take the first picture. Right, so I'm ready to take my picture, but as you can see, the problem is there's a bit of a breeze on now, and there's rain coming in there, and there's like a mist coming in there. So if you look at the front of the filter, it's just there's too much rain in there at the moment, so it's just not going to happen. I've got two issues as well. My first problem is because there's a bit of movement in the tree now, and the leaves are blowing all over the place. I've got to do a fast shutter speed for the actual the trees and the leaves itself, and then I may do a slow shutter speed for the actual water. So it's going to be a two-shot exposure. However, the rain's coming in now, so I'm going to knock it on the head now. I'm going to go and sit under this tree until this rain blows over, and then we'll come back again. You can hear the wind. It's still a bit wild there. It is looking a bit brighter later on, so it'll probably take about 10 minutes. You just got to be a bit patient and just wait for it. Last time I came here, I got absolutely drenched, went back to the car. I sat around for about half an hour to an hour, then I came back and I had beautiful conditions. So you always find that you get some really nice conditions pretty much straight after a rainfall. So let's hope that this just blows over. The weather forecast says it's going to do that, and we'll come back to you as soon as the weather starts picking up again. So just got to sit it out for a little while. So I'm only here for the day, so I'm going to hopefully make the most of it. As I say, I'm going to do the lone tree. I'm going to do 2 or 3 compositions on that when this light gets a little bit nicer. I can see a little bit of blue sky picking through there. And then we're going to go up and do the boathouse next, and then we're going to go to Elterwater. I'm not expecting anything exciting today, but what I have done, I've actually got some pictures, which is what I'll do is I'm going to put a picture up of mine, and I'm going to show you one of my previous pictures on a nice day as well, to give you an idea that, you know, not all these pictures happen on the same day and all that. You know, the conditions change all the time. So, but I'm just passing the time at the moment. It's just starting to clear a little bit there now. Let's have a look at the front of this. This is my tester. These little Microcloths are handy, so I've got about 3 or 4 of them in the bag. I use them for padding, but then they're obviously very handy as well for taking the water off the lens. I think it's not looking too bad. I think we're going to brave it. So my idea was to stand up here a bit higher and get some separation, but I don't really think it's working. I'm just doing my horizontals. I'm focusing on the actual branches there. I've got one little branch that's sticking out, which is quite nice. Focus on that. I'm going to take a quick picture. Exposure is absolutely spot on. Bring the clouds down in the background a little bit, and let's just take that picture quickly. None of this 30 seconds malarkey at the moment, and that's it done. Let me have a quick look at that. So I'm going to have a quick peek. I'll put it up as we're speaking, and as you see there, just looking in the background now, the tree's nice and it's nice and sharp and all that. I'm just going to go in close, but even then it's not sharp enough. So that was 1.6 seconds. So I'm going to have to whoop my ISO up, take my ISO up to probably about 1000, and then my shutter speed's going to be at about 60th, which is where I need to be to hopefully not get any movement on the leaves. And we'll do the same picture again. Right, you can have a look at this one. I'll put it up now as we're speaking and let you have a quick peek at it. Now it's okay, it's just a set shot, but clearly it's not going to work because when you look at the tree at the top, it's got all the foliage on there. So I'm going to show you in the back of the camera, so it saves you having to put the picture up there. Right, so we have a look at that there. Let's just going to click onto the actual image, and we'll do a quick check on the exposure. Is great, so I've got a detail in everything on the picture there. I've got detail in the shadows and the highlights, so there's nothing wrong with the exposure. I'm just going to do a quick check on my focus point. That's my focus point there, so that's nice and sharp there, as you can see there. That's great, but the only problem is that this tree here is disappearing into the background. So the only thing I can think of now is I'm going to have to go lower down and then try and put it above the hills, or really have the hills thrown out. So I'm going to try a different viewpoint and see what happens there. So once again, I've come over as far as I can now, so I've gone across as far as I can go. I can't go any further because of this tree. So I'm going to put you into in camera to show you what I have got, and we'll have a quick look and show you where I'm coming in from. So put you into in camera now, so it should be coming on any second. And we're in camera, so here we go. So literally you can see now, I'm going to turn you around to the left a little bit, get this lined up there. Let's take the zoom onto full 120. There we go. Bring the frame down to there, and so I think I'm either going to put it to there or I'm going to put it out to there, and I think that's probably going to go better to there. Bring that down to probably there, move it across to there. Let's find me a focus point. I need to see if I can hide that histogram. I'm going to put the focus point onto the tree, which is going to be there. Focus, that's good. And I think that's it. Let's lift up the gradiated filter, bring it down a little bit. That's probably as good as it gets there. I don't think the polarizer is doing anything. Turning it and nothing's happening because there's no sun really. So polarizer is doing nothing. So that is it. I think that's just done there now. So let's take that picture, and that's it done. Okay, so what I'm going to do now quickly, I'm going to stick on let's put the 6 stop in. And put the grab back in again on top of that. Bring you back into camera. Right, we're running. Okay, so we're back in camera again. I'm now on a 6 stop, which means I can bring my ISO down to something normal, like down to 100 ISO. There you go. That's looking better for exposure. That's looking lovely there now. So that's really nice. That's 15 seconds. Let's bring the f-stop up to f11, f8. I don't want to go too much because I kind of want to have a little bit of separation with that tree. Let's have the focus point brought in now, so I'm going to click on the focus point, move on to the tree itself. You need good contrast, like there. There you go, that's it. So let's do the rule of thirds, bring it down to there, move it up to there, and let's take the picture. So it looks not too bad. If you look at the actual leaves, there's a bit of movement in the branches. The water looks lovely at 30 seconds, really, really soft. Quite like that. But it's whether it's still separating or not, that's the only problem, isn't it? So that's the shot, and that's as good as it's going to get, and I think that's us done for here. We're now going to go and do some normal photography where I'm not trying to separate things from the background, which is not going to work clearly. I need the mist behind there to do the job properly. So yeah, we're going to wrap it here. I think I managed to get something. I was over in the water just over there, down there, went down low and tried to get lower down, so I got a little bit of the tree above, but I'm going to put it up as we're speaking. I managed to get the slow shutter speed on the water, which was quite nice, and there was a little bit of movement in the branches, but it actually wasn't too bad. And then I took another sharper picture of the branches, and actually the sun came out and gave me a little bit of light on the hill in the background. So I've actually merged both those two pictures together, and it's not a bad effort. I'll take it for the conditions that it is at the moment. We've not got no mist, and it's probably the best that I can do while I've been here. So there you go. So I have managed to do something, but that was a real old scrap trying to get something there. You know, from going down initially, being on the far distance, trying to separate it with there. Yeah, that'll work. That's quite nice. Happy enough with that now. Let's definitely move on to the next shot now. Right, coming down towards the boathouse now. So I'm just going to get myself lined up here. This is looking really nice. There's some nice light actually on it, so that might make a nice little picture. Looking very good. Recording. Okay, so we're now recording again. So here we go. So we're looking into camera. So what I'm going to do is first thing I'm going to do is darken it. So get an exposure of anything over like 125, because I'm not going to do a slow, well, I am going to do a slow shutter speed. So what we'll do first is we'll do a 60th of a second first, and then what I'm going to do there is going to stick on f11 ISO. I shall take down to ISO 80, and I'm going to zoom in and try and find the boathouse, which is going to be there. Let's find my focus point. There it is, and click, and there she is. That's one boathouse. Now that looks nice, but it's kind of boring because it's straight in the middle, isn't it? So what we're going to do is going to give it a little bit of space on the right hand side, bring it up there a little bit like that, and then let's basically work on the rule of thirds again. Focus on the boathouse there, take a picture, and I think that is not a million miles away. Let's take that picture and then see what comes. So that's 60th a second, f6.3, ISO 80. Job's a good one. Right, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to put onto it now, I'm going to put the filter adapter on the front, and we're going to give it some polarizing and see if that makes much difference. Let's have a look at that. So I'll go a little bit lighter and watch to see if the polarizer works. There it is, coming in now. Take it out, bring it back in, and there you go. So that's now polarizing, and what it's doing is making nice rich greens in the background. So again, I can focus on that. I can check my histogram, and then what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put on a big stopper because I want to make the water go this time, and we'll give that a go. I don't need the grad filter because there's nothing to bring in on the grad. I don't think so. So I'm going to lower it right down to 30 seconds. There we go, 30 seconds. Bring my ISO really low, down to its lowest. There we go. And we're not a million miles off, we're just slightly overexposing there. So let's just take it to 20 seconds, and we'll take that picture and see what happens there. Looks lovely. And that's a really simple boathouse shot. Really simple. As I say, in the evening it's nice soft light, and it's not too bad because it's in the shade, and we're recording again now. So this is the boathouse recording, and I think that is a really nice shot. There's a little bit of movement in the trees in the background there. So what I can do the flash picture, and then I can do the water picture for the front, so I can then merge them together, and we end up with a nice shot, and then have a look at them both together merged. So that looks lovely, nothing wrong with that at all. Let's have a look at the display. Display is looking great, exposure is looking spot on there, brilliant. And that is me done here. I'm probably going to have a walk over this little wall, which is sometimes quite nice. It may work, it may not, and we'll have a look at that for the next composition. So this morning when I was down at the lone tree, when I was under a bit of an issue, and I was having a big problem with rain and wind and light and all that type of stuff, but what I said was I'd show you some of the images that I did in the same location last time. So I'm going to put a picture up now. Look at it. That was a picture that was taken with the mist behind, and you can obviously see there the mist is actually separating the tree with the background, and where that picture was shot was where I shot the second picture, which is right down at the end, shooting right up there. And obviously my picture was very green and it kind of merged into the thing, but that picture kind of worked really well. And then let's have a look at another one, and I'm going to bring this one up. And again, this is another different time of year, and this was a sunrise, and you can see the sunrise coming up on the left and it's just burning through, but there was a lovely mist in that picture there as well, and you can see the mist just coming over the top of the trees in the background, and that was a gorgeous picture. So it's all down to the look of the day, guys. It's all whether you get there and you've got a bit of mist and you've got the right conditions. Otherwise you just got to work with what you got. I'm only here for 4 hours, I've got to make the most of it. I'm happy enough with the picture I took this morning. I managed to get one nice shot, and that was the last shot when I was low down, and I managed to get a little bit of separation. That wasn't too bad. Right, let's bring you back onto where I am now. So again, once again, I've just done these 2 pictures here. Again, I'll show you another picture that I've done of this one. This picture was taken more in the autumn. This picture was taken in the evening, and as you can see, there's some nice colours going on there. I'll do another one, and this is a little bit different. So what I did on this one here, you can see the tree stump. So that's kind of worn away now. That's really worn away over there now. So again, exactly the same, but in this case the water was really calm, and then you can see what it's like when you get a nice mirrored effect. So again, I think this picture was taken early in the morning when the mist was just coming over. So it's giving you an idea of what can be done on the right conditions. Right, what we're going to do now, I think we're going to pop over this wall here, because I've done a shot there before in the background, and once again, this is going to be my next shot here. You can see at the top there I've got the graduated filter kicking in there. That's quite nice. I'm going to try the polarizer. That's lovely. That's polarizer working a treat now. I'm going to lighten it up just a little bit now. Okay, so what's my exposure going to be there? So 60th. So it's going to be 30th of a second, back down to f11. Check my focus, which is going to be here, which is going to be on the brick wall, which is what I want it on. There you go, that's beautiful. That is a really nice shot there. It's going to turn it to the left a little bit. I got my horizontal spot on there, and that is it. That's going to be 30 seconds, f10, and my lowest ISO of 50. So I'm going to take that picture, and I'm going to stop you recording now and let you have a look at it when it's done. It's a little bit darker, but that's a great shot. I love that. I love the light on that. Okay, that's working nicely. That'll do. We're going to head over to Elterwater. Right, we're at the gate that goes into Elterwater at the moment, and looking at the water, it's really high. It's up on the path at the moment, so it'll be kind of interesting. That's why I put my wellies on, because I wasn't quite sure how deep it was going to be when we get up there. But yeah, good stuff. Let's crack on. Let's get into Elterwater. Right, I'm just going to look at my mobile phone, and I've got a picture on there, and I'm going to put it up now as we speak, and it'll show you what's actually behind me. It'll show you the gate and the light coming through the mist, and that was what it was like one morning about a year ago. And then it was really low mist here. The sun was about the same place, and it was coming through the mist, and isn't that just absolutely amazing photograph, the way that the light's coming through there? So yeah, it's all about the look of the day, guys, and I've got a few of these, and I'll show when I'm going around here, because it's nice and sunny here today, so they won't be so hot. But I've got some nice pictures to show you. I normally photograph these reeds in the foreground and then the Langdale Valley in the background. So what I'm going to try and do now is just to take you straight into camera. I see you in camera now, that's good. Okay, so I need a grad to bring that sky down from above, which is really bright. Look at that, that work a treat. My goodness, that's almost there. So that's 250th of a second, ISO 500. Let's get the ISO down to about something normal like 100. I'm going to zoom in there and get myself use the reeds as a foreground. My goodness, it's wild, isn't it? And that looks quite nice there. I like that. I think that is a 60th f8 at 100 ISO. Let's take that picture. That's in the can, and what I'm going to do now, I'll put a 6 stop on, I think. So let you have a quick look at that. That looks a really nice shot, that does. And the thing is, a bit of movement in the grass, but I think then what I did, I took a picture with a fast shutter speed. Go back the other way. There you go. So that's for the grass, and that's for the water. So when I join them together, you'll see the difference in the clouds as well. See the difference? Totally different there. And then we'll have a bit of a play around and see what comes from that lot. So that one's in the can. So again, while I'm on the subject on this one, what I'm going to do is going to have a quick peek at some pictures again. So the view we've got now, I'm putting it up now as we speak. There's two swans in the picture. So again, you can see the reeds in the bottom left hand side. Again, this was on a sunrise, and you see the sun burning over the Langdales up on the top right hand side with some really moody clouds coming over the top. What a gorgeous picture that was. Love that. Right, I'm going to spin us round now, and we're going to go and have a look at the actual river there, which is really high at the moment. Okay, this is one of the classic images that are taken at Elterwater with those big trees down there. There's like a little gate or fence that sticks out, but at the moment there's actually no shape to the water because it's all flooded. But again, once again, I'll put this picture up as in a photograph. It's really harsh, really contrasty, so I'll have to do a lot of it in post and pull the shadow detail out of it. Apart from that, everything's green. It's got no character at all about it. So really, this is the shot that you need to be taking either in the spring when it's nice and cold and icy, or in the autumn when you get some lovely things. And talking about that, I'm actually just going to bring a picture up there now. Hang on. Right, here we go. So this is another one of my compositions that I do here when I come to Elterwater. Right, let's try and bring it into camera now. Okay, that's looking good there. But the shot that I do like is this one over here. It's going to rack it back, and if you look in the distance down there, if I move my focus point, you see the two trees down the bottom there you go. They look really nice in the autumn when you get a bit of colour and all that, and then but I need a bit of separation between there and the background. So if you're lucky one day, you might be able to do it, and you get a nice bit of mist going through the valley in the background, and it just sweeps through this whole valley. And then this one day I actually got it. So I'll take this picture first, and then I'll show you the picture that I did do. So I think it was something similar to this. I've got the hill in the background, which is lovely. I've got the tree there. I'm just going to focus on those trees there. I'm going to take that picture just for my reference. That looks good, and I'm just going to have a look at that. I'm going to stop that there now. Right, so there you go. So basically I'm going to put a picture up now which is almost the same as what I've just done. However, this one's in the autumn and it looks really nice. As you can see it there, it looks really good. But I'll put it up on screen, and it's got that lovely separation. The light on the background on the hill looks absolutely gorgeous there. And then another day I came and I actually managed to get the actual mist going behind the two trees when there was no leaves on it, and that's just an amazing picture. It's not very often you get that picture. And again, obviously that'll be up there, you have a look at that. So there you go. So I once again just showing the different types of pictures that you can get different times of the year. The light's getting very harsh at the moment. It's going to be quite hard work to try and get anything. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to head down towards Derwentwater now, and finish the day off in Derwentwater. I'm going to go and photograph the gate hopefully, and then maybe Ashness Pier as well. And we'll see you at the other end. Right, the cloud's gone, the sun's gone behind the cloud, so hopefully we should be okay for a little while. I've actually put on for a 2-minute exposure. I've already got an exposure for the jetty, and so basically I'm exposing for the hills in the background at 2 minutes, and then obviously the water to get a really nice smooth effect basically. So should be quite good, this 2-minute exposure. Let's see what comes from it. So I'm just going to do a quick check on the display, and it looks pretty good from there. Everything's within inside of it. Come back out, let's just check my focus point. Focus is nice and sharp. Oh yeah, nothing wrong with that. Pin sharp. So there we go, that's looking great. And this is just to give you an idea of other images that I've done. So I'm going to put this picture up as we speak now, and this first picture was taken at the same jetty, but it's the older version, which was like an old wooden jetty, and this was a sunset taken on the 1635. And then I've done another one, so I'm going to pop this one up. This one's the modern jetty, and it's basically got a fast shutter speed for the clouds, and then it's got a slow shutter speed for the water. And as I say, it's joined them both together, and you can see how that one works as well. And I think that's just done. Oh, I've got another sunset one, I'll put that one up as well, which is a screaming yellow sunset. So I've got lots of great pictures from this. Ashness Jetty is one of the very few places in the Lake District where you actually get a sunset. It's quite hard to get a sunset in the Lake District, but there you go. Okay, I think that'll do for us, and we're now going to head down to Derwentwater and see. Right, we've arrived at Derwentwater now. We were at Derwentwater when we did Ashness Jetty, but this is actually in Keswick itself, so we're actually at the old gate which is in front of Cat Bells in the background there. So what I've done here, because it's so bright and so harsh, I've done 2 exposures. I've done one for the trees there because of the movement on the trees, and then I've taken another picture at 2 minutes at f11 at, I think it's 64 ISO, and then that's making the water all go nice and soft. And what I'll do, I'll join them both together and I'll put the trees in onto the old water, and then that should make a nice picture then. So that's pretty much what's done for the gate. So before we go, I just thought I'd show you a couple of images. I'll just pop this up now. This one was taken in the spring when the snow's on the hill, and with some beautiful light in the morning, just giving some nice colour to the sky there, and the wind wasn't too bad, so you're getting a little bit of reflection as well. So beautiful shot there. I did another shot in the evening, and this one's obviously of Derwentwater. The gate's not in the picture, but obviously the fence from the gate's in the picture, and once again more of a reflection in the water, giving a really nice pleasing effect. And then just for something different, I'd show you this last picture, which was basically when the water was really high, and there's no gate in the picture there. Now if you look on the right hand side, you can just see the top 2 parts of the gate sticking up. This is obviously taken in the autumn, but on a really nice calm day. And then our last stop, which is going to be over through the woods over there, was called Itmus Bay, I think it's called. Welcome to Itmus Bay. This is the last part. This is just around the corner from where the Derwent gate is, so it's not too far away, and this is going to be my last long exposure of the day. Right, so let's get this picture set up. I'm going to have to get my head down and into it because obviously it's very bright, so I'm going to just get my head right into the actual camera and have a look at the setting, and that looks not too bad there. I'm just going to do a display check for the exposure. The exposure is perfect there, so there's nothing wrong with that one either. And I'm just going to have a quick look at the focus point, which was halfway up the jetty. That's really nice and sharp. Nice soft water, 1 minute exposure, so pretty much done. Nothing wrong with that at all, and that's us done. Right guys, that's it. That's the last picture of the day. We've done well today. I've managed to get some nice images. I've been around the lakes a little bit. Started off in the lone tree down in Rydalwater, which wasn't too bad. I struggled trying to get some separation from the tree in the background, but I think I managed to get one out of it, which wasn't too bad. I then went up to the boathouse. Boathouse was fairly easy. It was a nice easy shot, nice and clean, and that was quite a nice picture. The wall that stuck out, that turned out to be quite a nice picture with a nice bit of light in the background and the trees behind it. So a nice bit of depth in the picture, so that was really nice. From there we went up to Elterwater. The top part of Elterwater was okay when I was doing a little bit with the reeds and the Langfords in the background. That wasn't too bad. That was quite nice. I quite liked that. And when I turned around and came back into the centre, I struggled again then with separation of the trees. Everything's just too green basically. Summer's probably not a good time to go and photograph landscape photography when everything's green, so we need to wait until like autumn time, September, until the bracken starts to change colour, and then we get a bit of contrast between the trees and the grass and all that type of stuff, so it gives us a bit more depth and a bit more detail. But it wasn't too bad. Obviously while I've been going through this, I've been showing the images from today, but then I've been showing some images from in the past as well, which wasn't too bad. And then we came down to Ashness Jetty. That was really nice. That was a nice simple picture. Always easy to get a nice shot on Ashness Jetty. I did that one on the 14mm to give me a nice wide angle. And then I've come up to the gate. The gate was surprisingly nice and it wasn't too bad. I was fortunate for the sun to go away for a few seconds and they give me some fairly soft light to get a nice shot of the gate. So that's good. Got a nice shot of the gate, and the water level was really good, so it was halfway up the gate, so that was good. And then obviously this is the last shot here, Itmus Bay, and then the jetty going out there, so that wasn't too bad. And I've had a really good day really. I've really enjoyed it, and thanks for staying with us this long. If you'd like to like and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated, and we'll catch you on the next one, guys.